And this is the fifth quarter. I'd like to welcome our brand new Giants beat reporter of the program, Zev. Welcome.
Hey guys, thank you for having me.
Anytime. Zev's gonna be on every Monday. We're gonna do Giants talk. Guys who want to call in, 718-987-3987, 718-987-3987. If you want to talk some Giants, you have the weekly spot. Let's start off with since the game didn't happen, we're gonna preview it right now. Start off with the injury report for the New York Giants. With first and foremost, how's Brandon Jacobs looking for tonight?
Brandon Jacobs is he's 32 years old. He's not the Brandon Jacobs he once was. So dealing with the week that he had 10 days ago, that great performance, he's going to be a little banged up. I mean, he's a questionable status as of right now with a little hamstring pull, but he should be in the game tonight. Splitting carries with probably Payne Hillis.
What do you think as far as amount of carries they'll give him tonight? Do you think they're gonna use him as a workhorse, or do you think they're gonna have Payne Hillis do the majority of the big back carries?
Probably they're gonna keep giving it to Brandon Jacobs until he says something about it. I mean, I don't think they're gonna go as hard as they did against the Bears with Brandon, but I definitely think they're gonna use him tonight. I just don't think it's gonna be to the same extent that they use. We'll probably get like 15 carries. Payne Hillis is probably gonna come on a couple of times. Michael Cox isn't really gonna do anything either. So it's really just going to be split between Brandon Jacobs and Payne Hillis tonight. But don't expect such a large amount of yards from Brandon Jacobs tonight.
All right. Anything new on JPP? He's sick all week. He didn't practice on Friday or Saturday. He practiced fully on Thursday. He's listed as questionable for the game. Anything new breaking on him?
No, there's nothing breaking. I mean, it seems to be the focus this week. It really is on defense and getting to the quarterback. So I'm not really sure how JPP is gonna be tonight. They still haven't released any new information on his status. So he's still labeled as questionable with illness. So hopefully he'll get back tonight. And Barrett Sewell really is not happy about the whole defense. The given situation, they only have 5 sacks in 6 games. So this all the quarterbacks are wearing a red jersey as they do in preseason. So it's pretty impressive. So I mean, if JDB doesn't come back today, I don't even know what the defense situation is gonna be like.
Absolutely, and keep in mind, they're playing against the Vikings with the best running back in the league. I think that's fair to say, and Adrian Peterson, who could run roughshod right up that line and have a couple of huge runs off tonight. David Wilson out indefinitely with a neck injury. Do you think we see him again this year?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I think recently, actually, this is coming from him, granted, but I think it's at least a little telling of what could happen. I think he said himself that he's going to be out another 3 to 4 weeks. So we should see him by, I think, November 12th.
Okay.
November 10th. Around November 10th, we should see him, or November 17th, one of those weeks. But I definitely think we will see him back.
All right. Tom Coughlin, have anything to say this week in regards to his team? The rumors are now starting to swirl about his longevity now with the Giants moving forward with this record that they have. Is there anything new on his part?
Well, not really. I mean, there hasn't been that much talk about Coughlin losing his job or anything of that nature. It's because you get to a point where you win 2 Super Bowls. It's kind of you kind of earn it to this point. This entire season isn't necessarily on Coughlin himself. So I don't really think there's that much talk about Coughlin losing his job. Maybe Coughlin hasn't really been talking this week that much. Really, the only thing he's saying is that he's just sticking by his QB, Eli Manning, even though Eli's having definitely the worst season of his career. He's already went over, I think, his turnover total from last year, I think.
What do you make of Eli right now this year with the struggles that he's having? Do you attribute it to any one thing in particular?
I really don't know. I mean, it started out obviously with that horrific offensive line, and it's not necessarily horrific in itself. It was battered, and they just lost a lot of people. David Bass is finally coming back tonight, but it started off badly, and it just snowballed into just a really, really pathetic passing game. I mean, I think they're eighth in the league in passing offense, but still, I mean, the turnover ratio has not been seen in the NFL since 1989, when the Cardinals had a turnover differential of minus 17. They have a minus 16 turnover differential right now, and that's just inexcusable and it's pathetic. Like there's just nothing going on like that in the NFL.
While we're on the offense, what do you make of these rumors that Hakeem Nicks might be leaving town soon?
I mean, I would be interested to see what happens there, honestly. I mean, Hakeem has never gone through an actual full season without getting injured. He's looking good this year, and I've always loved Hakeem as a player. I really have. But I mean, I would love to have some new young blood in the Giants, just in the Giants in general. I mean, Ruben Randall's coming up. He has great talent. He just needs to work. He has very raw talent. He just needs to work on his running route. But he could definitely come up and take over Hakeem's place. So I would be fine with Hakeem leaving. If we could get a good trade for him. But I haven't really heard anything recently. Anything more about the Hakeem trade since 10 days ago.
Do you deal him if you can get a second or third round pick?
For when?
For Hakeem. And Hakeem, the rumors right now are a second or third round pick you can get for him. Do you pull the trigger if that's the deal?
Possibly. I'm not so sure, but possibly.
Fair enough.
I would be a little more enticed to pull the trigger if there was something a little more tangible in play. But I mean, tangible along with the draft pick. But it's definitely an enticing offer.
Mm-hmm. What do you make right now of the Giants? Let's get into the defense a little bit. The linebacking core with John Beeson, but coming in, his first game was fantastic. I think he had about 13 tackles total. What did you think of what you saw from him?
I loved him. He was all over the field. He literally stretched the linebacker going from sideline to sideline. And he was doing a fantastic. I think his stats were 11 tackles.
About there. It was definitely double digits. It was somewhere between 11 and 14. I'll pull up the numbers.
Definitely a bright star in otherwise dark defense that we've seen this season. He was playing with ferocity and intensity that I haven't seen from the Giants since 3 years ago on their pass rush. And I really like what I saw from John Beeson.
All right, then. As far as the secondary, Antro Roll's been kind of quiet this year. Terrell Thomas has actually managed to stay healthy for the most part, even though he's on the injury report this week. It's just not been that much. And Prince Amukamara has been relatively quiet as well. What do you think they need to do in this game in order to get the win as far as secondary goes?
As far as secondary goes? Well, I mean, it's not... The problem is I've always thought that the Giants were a pass rush first, and then they go secondary, because they never really had... they haven't had a shutdown corner since Jason Thielen. So, they've really been relying on their ability to make the quarterback make mistakes and feel rushed. And off of those rushed passes, get interceptions. they've never had a very fantastic secondary. So I really would say that you just have to keep doing what you've been doing for the past 10 years. They really need to reignite the front four and just get those sacks tonight. If the sacks come, the interceptions and the turnovers will come.
John Beeson 11 tackles last week.
The secondary is not going to do it on its own.
Absolutely. What do you make of Josh Freeman making his first start in Minnesota tonight?
I'm excited. I mean, just playing any quarterback that they would throw at us, I would be excited to see, honestly. But I mean, Josh Freeman, I always like Josh Freeman. What happened this season is a real tragedy. Because I was really excited to see Josh Freeman play this season, but he just did not do well at all. So having 2 weeks off from football?
I believe he's had 2 weeks off. Yes.
Having 2 weeks off from football, he's kind of an unknown quantity at this point, being in a new system and not seeing action for 2 weeks. So I'm kind of curious to see what happens tonight.
Not to mention, he has very, I'd phrase it, wild card receivers in Greg Jennings, rookie Cordell Patterson, and then Jerome Simpson. You really don't know what you're going to get out of him there.
Exactly. You don't know. If that running game is working, which 85% it probably will be, you have the play action going, you have no idea what could happen.
Absolutely. Speaking of the running game, Adrian Peterson coming off the tragedy. What do you think he does tonight, numbers wise?
So interestingly enough, the Giants have recently shut down top running backs. You know, Matt Forte didn't have a good day, and LaShawn McCoy didn't have a good day against the Giants. So I mean, I'm not going to say that they're going to shut down Adrian Peterson by any stretch of the imagination. I think that Adrian Peterson is probably gonna make him work. And I'm kind of leaning towards the fact that Adrian Peterson is going to get the running game going.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not so sure he's going to break one out. I have to say again, John Beeson is a force to be reckoned with based off of how he was playing in the Bears game, and I'm really excited to see how he does tonight against an elite running back.
And we've got a little breaking news into the fifth quarter. Jets alerted officials to watch for Patriots' illegal field goal push prior to yesterday's game, according to NFL Network. Just going a little off topic for a second due to this news breaking, what did you make of that play yesterday?
Honestly, I was kind of on the side of August Hope that I never heard of that penalty before.
No one has, to be fair.
I felt chipped. I really did. I felt chipped.
That's
it.
That's fair. That's a fair.
I'm on the side of Avi that I understand that it's a penalty, and therefore they made the correct call. I just don't know why it's a penalty. That's it.
That's fair. 100% fair. You're looking here. The Vikings defense is definitely something you can take advantage of. They've got the Williams at defensive tackle and Jared Allen, but otherwise they really don't have much. What do you think Eli needs to do here? Do you think Eli needs to get going early in order to take this game, or do you think he can ease in a little bit before?
No, I think this is definitely kind of like in a bunny hill type of way for Eli Manning. He just needs to get it done in the first quarter. Just get on a roll. You know, I mean, I'm not even considering the season at all because I've given up on that like 2 weeks ago. He just needs to make smart passes, not make stupid mistakes, and just make completions. That's it. Make check downs correctly, throw slams well. That's it.
How do you think
completions?
How do you think Eli does tonight? Numbers wise.
It's really tough. It's really tough. Honestly, I'm the optimist in me hopes for maybe a 17 for 30 something like that, with like 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. The realist, probably like 25 for 40 with like 342 yards and like 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions.
Mm-hmm. Final score.
I really cannot at all guess correctly what Eli's going to do tonight, because this entire season is throwing everything into just randomness.
Final score for the game tonight. Prediction.
I'm really feeling something like 28-21.
Ooh.
Vikings.
Vikings. Really?
Yeah. I don't feel good. I don't feel good about the Giants. I really just don't. It's not a good feeling. Even if they're coming off the 10-day rest, I just don't feel good about them this year at all.
Do you
if Adrian Peterson, I don't like that either.
You think Adrian Peterson goes off tonight?
I think he could. I think he's gonna run hard, but I don't know how well he's gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're gonna give the ball off to him a lot. I think he's gonna get 20 plus carries.
20 plus carries. Fair, definitely fair enough. So 28-21 final score predicted tonight. Vikings over the Giants. Zev, it was great having you on. You'll catch Zev every week on the Fifth Quarter now, our Giants beat reporter. When we come back, we'll get into the NFL. Broncos, Colts, we'll start it off with. We've got plenty to go over here. 154 on WQMC Radio. Here is Snow the Product with Don't Judge Me.